Your client is a small time farmer who intends to expand his production of broccoli due to the health benefits it offers. He considers selling it fresh to the consumers and wants to ensure a continuous supply of the product. However, he is aware of the pitfalls of production in bulk. So, he has two methods in mind to counter the issue, that is, conventional vacuum packaging and modern modified atmospheric packaging. He wants you to compare the two processes and then do a cost benefit analysis of the two, considering his budgetary constraints. Let's analyze this case closely. So, the problem setting here is a small time farmer wants to produce enough broccoli to have a continuous supply of the product so that whenever his consumers demand for it, he can supply it immediately. He is looking for the best way to store his produce as he is aware that broccoli has high respiration rate and is susceptible to rapid spoilage. Broccoli belongs to family Cruciferaceae, which is known to produce vegetables which are bitter and pungent in taste. Examples include cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli. All of them belong to the same class of family. What makes broccoli special is the presence of an enzyme called myrosinase, which is responsible for the conversion of glucosinolates to isothiocyanates, which are known to having anti-carcinogenic properties. Now, two important things that we have to keep in mind while deciding on a package is moisture barrier properties, and the other one is your air barrier properties. Our client has provided us with two methodologies, conventional packaging and modified atmospheric packaging. Let's compare the two processes to see which one is most suitable for our product. Conventional packaging is use of vacuum or low pressure to draw oxygen out of the food packet and thereby extend the shelf life of our product. On the other hand, MAP involves modifying the atmosphere in which food products are kept by replacing air with a mixture of gases, usually carbon dioxide, oxygen, and nitrogen. Since pressure is applied in conventional packaging, products may be subjected to easy deformation, especially if we are having fresh fruits and vegetables. This may lead to several biochemical reactions like enzymatic loss of activity of myrosinase, leading to quality and texture loss. In case of modified atmospheric packaging, we are not making use of pressure, we are just flushing gases. So there is no loss of product quality or quality loss. Third, in case of vacuum packaging, our products may be subjected to heat treatment processes twice. One is before packaging and the other one is after packaging. And why is this the case? Because we are just removing oxygen or air in case of vacuum packaging. This does not guarantee inhibition of all types of microbes in the product. If you are subjecting it to two heat treatments, there is nutritive quality loss. But in case of MAP, this is not observed. As in MAP, we are just managing the amount of carbon dioxide present within package to ensure that both aerobes and anaerobes do not have a chance to grow in such a medium. Last but not the least, the efficiency of vacuum packaging depends on how much of oxygen is removed from the package. And why is this the case? Because we are applying low amount of pressure. This means that there will be some amount of oxygen still available in your package for facilitating the growth of aerobes. In case of modified atmospheric packaging, efficiency is function of technical know-how of the person who is handling the product or the equipment as well as the control of gas mixture that enters the food package. Both enable storing foods for longer time, and if proper conditions are followed, it will facilitate in preservation of taste, texture and color of the product. Now we have two different types of MAP. Active MAP, in which the package in which your product is present, you are replacing air with a mixture of gases. And in case of passive MAP, within the package, the air is modified by the food product itself. So how does that happen? When we are talking about passive MAP, we are essentially talking about preservation of fresh fruits and vegetables. So they are continuously respiring, meaning they absorb the oxygen present in the package and release carbon dioxide to the packaging, thereby altering the composition of air within the package. Now, what type of gas mixture we are choosing for modified atmospheric packaging depends on what is our product. For instance, as in this case, if it is broccoli, we need an environment rich in oxygen so that the product freshness can be maintained. But you have certain products where you want to inhibit the growth of microbes. That time you're going to make use of carbon dioxide at a much higher concentration, between 30 to 60%. You also make use of nitrogen in case you have products that are sensitive to oxygen. Nitrogen has another role to play. It is used as a filler in the packaging as well. In case of our product like broccoli, which respires at a very high speed or a high rate, we have to avoid low oxygen concentration and too high carbon dioxide concentration. So our product broccoli has high respiration, we know, and is susceptible to rapid spoilage. So we have a modified atmospheric packaging methodology called equilibrium modified atmospheric packaging, which ensures that there is enough oxygen for these vegetables to breathe. So what are some of the benefits of modified atmospheric packaging? It reduces spoilage. It helps in preservation of quality, texture, aroma, and flavors better than your vacuum packaging. It helps in reduction of use of preservatives in your food product and reduced food waste. From all of this, it is for sure that modified atmospheric packaging seems to be much better for our food product. Having said that, our client has to look at several other aspects before finalizing on the packaging technology he wants to use. For instance, he has to look at how much does it cost to acquire and install modified atmospheric packaging equipment. Where is he going to source his raw material and how much does it cost to source raw materials? How much does it cost to train staff who are involved in handling MAP equipment? How much of modification needs to be done to his present production facility so that he can accommodate MAP equipment? And finally, what maintenance plan is in place? Thank you for staying with me through the video. In case you have any queries, please feel free to put them in the comment section and I'll get back at the earliest.